Okay, guys, time to go back into this is part 3 of my childhood and the place I grew up around, the area that I grew up around. Time for part 3 of Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to my jungle. Well, not really. I'm not really one of those kind of metalheads. I'm just like one of those, like an old school metalhead. I just had a friend that did that kind of voice on his radio podcast, and I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it's funny as hell. So, but yeah, this is kind of what I consider a jungle, but it's not really a jungle. It's basically a branch off a nature reserve branch off of Cliffside Park. And if I swear to you, I'm going to say this right now. If anyone in the construction company or the government touches this area, there will be a lot of outraged people in Caledonia and Crestview, especially the originals in Crestview and Caledonia. Especially my family. My family are one of the 3 original families in Crestview. On our street at least, and in the whole area that we live in, like from the lake to 6 Mile Road, we're the originals. Our house has held almost 7 generations of family members. The next generation, I believe, will be the 7th generation. The next set of great grandchildren from my grandfather will be 7 generations in total. As also will be his great grandchildren. And he already met his great grandchildren. His two great granddaughters already. My cousins Kylie and Sydney. Ironically enough, Sydney is not from Australia, which is kind of weird because my cousin Carly named her that name, and kind of surprised me that my cousin Carly didn't go to Sydney, Australia, and she's dating this guy with she was married to this guy with an Australian accent. I mean, a pure Australian accent. But the area, the rest of the tour this tour has to come to a close because this whole area right here is nothing but swamp marsh like area. But yeah, that is gorgeous scenery. Flat out gorgeous. It's where I grew up. I love this area because I grew up around nature. I grew up to learn to not take what you have for granted. Your family, your friends, the area, but most of all, the area and the people you grew up around. Now, there's one person who I cannot stand because she took my kindness for granted for so long, and I refuse to speak her name, but she's my birth mother, and I just don't like being around her. because of how terrible of a person she was. when I was a kid, and now she's trying to make it seem like I'm the bad person. And now she's trying to throw shit in my face. I hear it every day, and she's trying to throw shit in my face from my friends, who basically brought me up, brought me into this turned me into the good-hearted soul that I am today. And I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the first to admit I have my anger and depression issues, but around nature, I'm as calm and peaceful as can be. Like right now, it's hard to explain, but when I'm around nature, it's like you see a calm. It's like when people are like, when I'm around nature and have people with me, they see a much calmer side to me. They see a much calmer side to the angry person I used to be. Yeah, this is the place I went. This is the area I went through, I think. But yeah, I gotta get off, guys. I gotta get back home. Okay, catch you on the flip side. Bye.